At hindi lang kasi mabibilisan ay dahil ma-relieve din ang traffic. Yung ating mga kababayan, gamitin po ninyo, makita ninyo, maramdaman ninyo na ang malaking ginhawa na dinadala ng nitong mga ganitong malalaking project.
Tonight's top stories. Humanitarian aid continues to pour in for Mayon-affected families as the government vows a full and swift response.
Atin ito coalition's civilian mission now heading back to Manila after a successful operation in Pagasa Island.
The House plenary is set to vote after Justice Panel approves report finalizing Vice President Duterte's impeachment case.
The Philippine government gears up for the 48th ASEAN Summit, with President Marcos Jr. convening now senior officials. All these and more, here on 13 News.
Good evening, I am William Thio. We are bringing you the day's top stories that shape the country, straightforward, clear, and concise.
I'm Angela C. Under one flag with 3 mandates to inform, explain, and empower the nation. This is
13 News. We begin tonight's newscast with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ordering a full and immediate government response in Albay following the ash fall from Mayon volcano.
As of tonight, around 117 million pesos in humanitarian aid has been distributed by the DSWD to the affected families. IBC correspondent Harley Valbuena filed this report.
Thick, dark smoke blanketed parts of Camalig Albay last Saturday as Mayon volcano spewed pyroclastic density currents. This viral video showed a resident jogging before suddenly running for his life as the volcano erupted. Another family quickly rushed inside their home and shut the doors to keep the smoke out. Local authorities reported that more than 6,000 households across over 40 barangays have been affected by ashfall. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. immediately ordered government agencies to respond and prioritize the safety of residents.
The first concern, of course, was the health concerns, and we were able to bring out the people who were in the danger area. We were able to support them with medical attention.
The Department of Health has distributed N95 masks, deployed mobile clinics, and set up water stations to address breathing problems and eye irritation. The Department of Public Works and Highways was directed to clear major roads to allow emergency responders to pass. Evacuations continue, with the Department of Social Welfare and Development distributing relief supplies. It has so far provided 117 million pesos in humanitarian aid, including 71,000 food packs, 7,000 non-food items, and more than 1,000 ready-to-eat meals. Over 45 million pesos in cash aid was also distributed to around 3,000 farmers and displaced residents whose livelihoods were disrupted. Grateful locals express appreciation for the government's swift response.
Thank you po PBBM sa agarang aksyon and sa suporta po na natatamasa namin. Lalong-lalo na sa palawagan mong tulungan kami dito sa Albay.
Nagpasalamat po ako sa unang-una po kay Presidente. Nakalantabang po yating ating pinauna oportunidad na una po sa food pack.
President Marcos Jr. also ordered close monitoring of rivers and other waterways due to the risk of lahar flows. According to FIVOX, Mayon remains under heightened watch. Harley Valbuena, IBC News.
Tonight, more help is reaching residents affected by Mayon volcano's ashfall. The Philippine Red Cross distributed face masks to protect communities from respiratory illnesses caused by thick smoke and ash. The provincial government of Sorsogon also sent aid, deploying a water and sanitation machine to provide clean drinking water in Albay. Meanwhile, the Albay Veterinary Office is closely monitoring livestock pooling sites distributing ruminant concentrate to ensure the nutrition and safety of evacuated animals. Authorities continue to enforce the 6-kilometer permanent danger zone. Residents are reminded to stay indoors and, if going out, to wear masks at all times.
A magnitude 6 earthquake has hit the province of Eastern Samar. In Borongan City, employees were seen evacuating buildings and gathering outside. Meanwhile, a cross in San Pedro Calungsod Parish Church fell during the quake. According to Thio, the tremor occurred around 2 in the afternoon, with the epicenter northwest of San Julian City. Intensity 5 was felt in Canavid, Eastern Samar, Gandara Samar, and Dulag and Alang-Alang, Leyte. Classes at all levels, as well as work in government and private offices, have been suspended. Local authorities are advising residents to remain alert for possible aftershocks.
Hitting the ground running, the Cavite-Laguna Expressway subsection 3 has officially opened and will be toll-free for a month, giving motorists welcome relief. This 4.19 billion peso road now slashed travel time dramatically, proof the government is pushing the pedal to the metal on infrastructure. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. led the event, which IBC News correspondent Harley Valbuena covered in this report.
The newly opened Cavite-Laguna Expressway or CALAX Subsection 3 will be toll-free for a month, as announced by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. while inspecting the new road segment. CALAX Subsection 3 spans 7.88 kilometers, built at a cost of 4.19 billion pesos through a public-private partnership between the Department of Public Works and Highways and MP Cala Holdings Incorporated. It connects the Silang Interchange to Governor's Drive Interchange in General Trias City, Cavite. With this new section, travel time from Aguinaldo Highway to Governor's Drive is now shortened from half an hour to 6 minutes, while trips from Binyan Laguna to General Trias are cut from 1 hour to 26 minutes. Around 6,000 vehicles are expected to use the expressway daily, easing commutes for Cavite residents working in Metro Manila.
At hindi lang kasi mabibilisan ay dahil ma-relieve din ang traffic. Yung ating mga kababayan, gamitin po ninyo, makita ninyo, maramdaman ninyo na ang malaking ginhawa na dinadala ng itong mga ganitong malalaking project.
Also today, President Marcos Jr. launched the Sa General Trias Bawat Barangay Makikinabang program. 33 barangays received 200,000 pesos each under the Socio-Civic Projects Fund, half of which will support 165 presidential scholars with 20,000 pesos in educational assistance.
Lahat ng mga programa na ginagawa ng government, sa local, sa national, ay pagka hindi maganda ang training at ang ating mga kabataan ay hindi rin magiging successful, hindi rin magiging matagumpay yung ating mga ginagawa.
Sobrang laking tulong po nun sa akin po kasi po as a working student nga po, mahirap nga pong i-manage po yung mga pangangailangan po namin.
The President also led the distribution of 10 kilos of rice to around 2,000 residents of General Trias. Harley Valbuena, IBC News.
Despite being tailed by Chinese vessels, the Atin Ito coalition has completed its mission in the West Philippine Sea and is now heading back to Manila. Volunteers delivered essential supplies to fishers and residents while asserting Philippine sovereignty. IBC Executive Producer and Director Janina Magundayo has more to tell.
With 2 China Coast Guard ships still on their tail,
mission accomplished po tayo.
Rap collective Morabeats hosted a jamming session for the volunteers of Atin Ito Coalition's 4th civilian mission to the West Philippine Sea. The group is now heading back to Manila from Pag-asa Island aboard MV Capitan Felix Oca after giving fuel, food packs, hygiene kits, school supplies, and other essentials to hundreds of residents living on the remote island. The mission not only met its primary objectives, it even went beyond them. No less than Akbayan Representative Dada Kiram Ismula herself rode a jet ski carrying the Philippine flag within Pag-asa Island's territorial waters. Earlier that day, she and Matthew Silverio, Secretary General of the Student Council Alliance of the Philippines, also planted the Philippine and Atin Ito flags on Pag-asa K2. The low-lying sandy island is just 2 nautical miles away from Pag-asa mainland, well within its territorial waters.
May Chinese vessel na sumunod. Siguro na-alerto din sila dahil bumaba nga kami ng Sandy K1. Dalawang motorized boat nila at saka isang reef.
This year is the 10th anniversary for the arbitral award and the 4th for Atenito's civilian missions to the West Philippine Sea. Despite the arbitral win and the efforts to normalize civilian access to these waters, Chinese ships still roam free and continue to threaten our countrymen. The coalition is expected to arrive at Pier 15 in Manila at 10 p.m. tomorrow, May 5. Janina Magundayo, IBC News.
Motorists should brace for higher gasoline and diesel prices tomorrow, though kerosene will drop. The government assures oil supply remains stable as tensions in the Strait of Hormuz continue to trigger disruptions. The full story from IBC News correspondent Patrick Gupo.
Effective tomorrow, gasoline prices will rise by 2 pesos and 21 centavos per liter and diesel by 2 pesos and 66 centavos per liter. But kerosene will drop by 3 pesos and 53 centavos. The Department of Energy attributed the changes to the weakening peso and global tensions affecting oil supply.
So the market shows a slight parang kumakalma na siya ng konti. Pero now it seems like it's steadying at a certain pace and hopefully it stays like that.
As of tonight, tensions continue in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. President Donald Trump announced that the U.S. will guide stranded ships in the strait, though officials clarified it is not an escort mission. Trump also rejected Iran's proposed 14-point peace plan, saying it is unacceptable. He hinted at possible military strikes.
If they misbehave, if they do something bad, but right now, we'll see. But it's a possibility that could happen, sir.
Iran in turn warned that foreign military presence in the strait could trigger attacks, raising concerns of further supply disruptions. Amid global oil shocks, the Philippines has been recognized by the Asian Development Bank as one of the Asia-Pacific countries implementing extensive policy responses. These include fuel subsidies, support for transport workers, price monitoring, and measures to secure fuel supply. Malacanang said the Philippines' response reflects the directive of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to act swiftly and protect Filipino households. For now, the Department of Energy assures that the country's fuel supply remains sufficient. As of May 1, the Philippines has around 53 days of buffer stock, easing concerns over immediate shortages.
We've been talking to many countries from Americas, Asia, ASEAN, and other parts of the world. So hindi pa kailangan ngayon mag-order ulit dahil one thing is there's already there's enough supply, and then second po kahit dagdagan natin yan, wala po tayong storage facility na maka-accommodate another 1 million liters.
The DOE says it continues to coordinate with international partners for possible fuel sourcing, but additional purchases will depend on available storage capacity. It also supports proposals to reduce electricity costs, although decisions on taxes remain under the Department of Finance. Patrick Gupo, IBC News.
Amid daily transport struggles due to rising fuel costs, the Government Service Insurance System, or GSIS, has launched the Ginhawa Bike and E-Mobility Loan, or GBEL, to help Filipinos afford bikes and e-bikes. What's the coverage of this loan? GSIS qualified members can borrow up to 100% of the cost of the bike or e-bike that they want to buy. Members can get a maximum of 300,000 pesos in buying their target unit. No worries for those who want to avail GBEL, as their loan is payable for maximum of 36 months or 3 years with only 5% annual interest rates. Another good thing is that there is no service fee upon approval of the loan. The GBEL, along with the Ginhawa Solar Energy Loan, or GCEL, are programs of the GSIS in supporting President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s Uplift initiative. And when we return, House panel OK's committee report finalizing Vice President Duterte's impeachment case. Stay tuned. This is 13 News.
Pangarap mong maging milyonaryo? Sa PCSO Lotto, magkakatotoo. Mas pinasaya, mas pinabongga, mas pinalaki ang mga jackpot prizes. Araw-araw ang bola, kaya more chances of winning sa PCSO Lottery Draws. Lunes hanggang Linggo, tuwing 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and 9 p.m. Balitang nakala.
Mamulat ng kanyang mga si Presidente at si...
Binantayan. Sinuri. Nilatag at inihayag. 13 sa tanghali. Kasama sina Greg Gregorio, Naj Miravalles at Zai Chua. 13 sa tanghali sa ganap na alauna dito sa IBC 13. Are you ready to open your mind? We're tackling topics others won't.
There should always be that collaboration between families, the communities, the school.
Most of the household, ayaw nilang pag-usapan anything about sex.
Or parang parang na-attract sila dun sa industry namin na tigil yan.
It's time to stop the stigma and start the science.
Because here on Naked Minds, we break the silence.
Naked Minds, every Friday, 10 p.m. on IBC 13.
Bagong Pilipinas. Mahalaga ang kapakanan ng bawat isa. Lahat ng aspeto ng lipunan pinagtutuunan ng pansin ng pamahalaan at ni Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Bagong Pilipinas, PBBM, Lingkod ng Bayan. Tuwing Linggo, alas 8:30 ng umaga.
Welcome back to the program. A committee report on the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte will now be transmitted to the plenary following its approval by the House Justice Panel. The Senate says it is ready to convene as an impeachment court for the possible trial. IBC News correspondent Earl Tobias has the report.
In a unanimous vote, all 55 present members of the House Justice Committee approved its decision that Vice President Sara Duterte should be impeached. The committee report adopted today includes articles of impeachment, citing probable cause in the following cases: alleged misuse of confidential funds, alleged bribery within the DepEd during her tenure as secretary, alleged discrepancies between her SALN and billions in bank transactions, and her direct threats against the president's life.
Hindi tayo nagmadali, hindi tayo nag-shortcut. Naghintay tayo ng salaysay mula sa Vice-Presidente sa ilalim ng panunumpa. Pero ang tanging humarap sa atin ay ang tahimik, ang isang bakanteng upuan.
The report will now be transmitted to the House plenary, where at least 106 votes are needed to elevate the case to the Senate.
We're expecting the Vice President to be impeached next week. So yung 106 is all but certain. It's just a question of how many more votes we will get. At the very best, mapantayin ho yung 215 votes in last year's impeachment.
If passed, the House will elect prosecutors for the Senate trial. Conviction requires at least 16 senator judges voting in favor. And according to ML Party List Representative Laila De Lima,
kahit isa lang pong article ang ma-uphold nila at ma-convict si VP Sara, that should be enough.
De Lima is among those being considered as a House prosecutor, alongside lawmakers such as Justice Committee Vice Chairperson Isabel Zamora and Attorney Keith Flores, House Good Government Committee Chairperson Joel Chua, and Attorney Shell Jokno. The committee will give a copy of the decision to the Vice President's camp, which again insisted that the process is unconstitutional. Meanwhile, Senate President Tito Soto has made it clear that Senate will immediately convene as an impeachment court once the articles are transmitted.
Basta we'll be ready for anything. We will be ready for any eventuality. And I'm speaking for most of the members of the Senate.
Palagay ko, 106 votes, madaling makuha.
Some senators have already signaled positions.
Di ba ang papel naman ng minority to oppose? Huwag kaming sabihan na kami ay bias.
We'll follow all the rules and the procedures, di ba? Yung guided naman kami lahat.
While Senator Erwin Tulfo dismissed the possibility of a leadership change amid impeachment talks.
I don't think so. I think they cannot muster enough votes.
Earl Tobias, IBC News.
Tonight, former broadcaster Jay Sonsa has been released from the NBI Detention Center in Muntinlupa. According to his legal counsel attorney Mark Tolentino, the Pasay City Regional Trial Court Branch 118 acknowledged Sonsa's 10,000 peso bail in connection with an unlawful publication case following an apology made during the May 4 hearing. Sonsa's camp says it accepts the apology in good faith after the former broadcaster spent 5 days in detention. Meanwhile, the NBI said Sonsa's arrest was not personal but part of its mandate, adding that it handled the case build-up and filing.
I'm saying nasa korte na po to, it will be the court who will decide on the matter. Pero just to address bakit sa Pasay, it was the investigation of the National Bureau of Investigation. Kami po yung nag-case build-up, kami yung nag-file sa DOJ, and ang opisina po ng NBI ay nasa Pasay.
The Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center, or CICC, has intensified its campaign against disinformation through a partnership with Verifiles. The two groups formally signed a memorandum of agreement, which IBC correspondent Cristal Ramizares covered in this report.
With the misuse of artificial intelligence and the rise of disinformation, the Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center, or CICC, has partnered with non-profit news organization Verifiles. The two formally signed a memorandum of agreement to strengthen fact-checking on social media platforms and digital literacy among Filipino users. Verifiles highlighted the growing presence of deepfakes and AI-generated content on platforms like Facebook, noting they will apply specific criteria to identify misleading posts.
Yung nasa Facebook post. Kasi kung opinion siya, hindi siya talaga eligible for fact-checking. So there needs to be a clear claim.
CICC is in full support for the campaign, pledging to provide faster digital mechanisms to debunk false information.
Through digitalization, yung reporting, yung monitoring natin, mas marami, mas comprehensive. And second, mas mapapagaan yung trabaho.
It is also in talks with tech companies such as Meta to remove exemptions from fact-checking policies on social media.
No one should be put in a special category to be shielded from fact-checking. Hindi dapat ganun. Fact is fact.
Verifiles will soon launch workshops on fact-checking to improve the public's digital literacy and avoid falling victim to disinformation. Cristal Ramizares, IBC News.
The Philippines is gearing up for the 48th ASEAN Summit as the host country. In fact, tonight, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. convened senior government officials to finalize preparations for the May 6 to 8 meetings. Discussions focused on energy security, food security, and protecting ASEAN nationals with a whole-of-government approach to ensure effective chairship. The president emphasized cohesive coordination to showcase strong leadership as the country hosts the regional summit.
Pag-asa is monitoring 2 low-pressure areas outside the Philippine area of responsibility. As of 3 p.m., the first LPA was located about 1,265 kilometers away, while the second was last spotted 2,770 kilometers east of northeastern Mindanao. The Weather Bureau says the nearest LPA is unlikely to develop into a storm, but may still bring rain over parts of the Visayas, Mindanao, and Palawan. However, the farther LPA has a higher chance of developing into a tropical cyclone in the coming days. Meanwhile, around 21 areas experienced dangerous heat index levels today, with the highest recorded in Dagupan City, Pangasinan, and Virac Catanduanes at 44 degrees Celsius. A heat index of 43 degrees Celsius was also recorded in parts of the Ilocos region, Mambusao in Capiz, and Butuan City in Agusan del Norte. Hot and dry weather is expected to persist in parts of the country until the second week of May.
And here are the results of the 9 p.m. draws from the PCSO. For the Mega Lotto 645, the winning numbers are 34, 28, 21, 41, 8, and 5 with a jackpot price of 15 million pesos. For the Grand Lotto 655, the winning combination is 33, 13, 47, 46, 17, and 25 with a jackpot price of 81,488,086 pesos and 77 centavos. For the 4D Lotto, the winning combination in exact order is 9, 0, 0, and 3. For the 3D Lotto, the winning numbers are 9, 2, and 4. And finally, for the 2D Lotto draw, the winning numbers are 27 and 15. There are no winners for the Mega Lotto 645 and Grand Lotto 655. And those were the latest from the IBC Newsroom this evening.
We'll continue to monitor the stories that matter and bring you updates as they develop. I'm Angela C.
And I'm William Thio. This is 13 News. Good night, everyone.